You want to know the funny thing about people, brother? They only fear the storm when it starts shaking their walls. But they never realize you became the storm long before they try to test you. People who try to manipulate you always make the same mistake. They think you're reacting. They think your silence is confusion. They think your patience is weakness. They never imagine that you already saw the ending of a story before they even wrote their first lie. They came into your life like amateurs playing a noisy game, thinking they could outsmart you with tricks, emotions, pressure, guilt, control, not realizing you don't play on their level. You don't even play their game. You design it. That's the part they never understood, the setup they never saw. You noticed them long before they noticed you. Their patterns, their impulses, their need for attention disguised as confidence, their shifting personalities whenever they felt the slightest threat, every message they sent, every silence they used as a weapon, every smile hiding a knife. Predictable. It wasn't intuition. It was awareness. They thought they were studying you. Meanwhile, you were studying everything they tried to hide. Their arrogance made them blind. Your silence made you unpredictable. And nothing scares a manipulator more than a man who doesn't react. The moment they underestimated you. Look, weak people always misread strength. They think intensity equals anger. They think calmness equals defeat. They think being unbothered means you're unaware. And so they tried to teach you lessons by ignoring you, by provoking you, by switching attitudes every other day, by trying to make you feel insecure, by pretending they didn't care. But here's the divine joke. Every move they made was exactly what you expected. Every shift, every lie, every manipulation, every attempt to make you react emotionally. They weren't unpredictable. They were repetitive. You saw through them not because you're cold, but because you've survived storms that would shatter them. You didn't react, and that terrified them. You didn't shout. You didn't argue. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't chase explanations. You just watched. Do you know how powerful a man becomes when he learns to watch instead of react? Your silence became the mirror they were afraid to look into. It reflected their insecurities, their desperation for control, their lies, their need for validation. They wanted chaos. You gave them emptiness. And emptiness is a terrifying punishment because it forces a person to sit alone with the truth they've been running from. Every time you stayed quiet, they were losing control. Every time you held your peace, they were falling apart. They needed your reactions. They fed on them, but you gave them nothing. That was your checkmate. They tried new games, all failed. A manipulator's panic is easy to recognize. When their tricks stop working, they switch roles. First the charming hero, then the cold villain, then the broken victim, then the I don't care mask, then the jealous ex, then the loyal friend, then the silent ghost, then the desperate chaser. Every version of them, same desperation, different costume. But you stayed the same, unmoved, unshaken, untouchable. They thought they were unpredictable. But you've seen these characters before, in other people, in other betrayals, in other lessons. This wasn't new to you. What they wanted versus what they got. They wanted a reaction. You gave them boundaries. They wanted chaos. You gave them stillness. They wanted power over you. You gave them distance. They wanted to break you. You let them reveal themselves. And the moment you truly understood them, the moment everything clicked, The moment their mask fell apart, the game became boring. Not because you won, but because you realized how small their intentions were compared to the strength of your vision. You don't lose sleep over people who can't even control their own emotions. You don't fear people who live off validation. You don't chase people who don't bring peace. You are a builder, not a beggar. The real checkmate, your exit. There comes a moment in every man's life when he walks away, not out of anger, not out of pain, but out of clarity. Your silence, your smirk, your calm departure. That was the moment the whole board flipped. Because manipulators don't know how to function when the person they can't control stops participating in their game. When you walked away, their jokes stopped being funny, their lies stopped being effective, their validation stopped holding value, their power dissolved instantly. They weren't expecting peace from you. They were expecting drama. And when you gave them silence instead of war, that silence burned deeper than any revenge ever could. Their downfall came from within. You didn't expose them. They exposed themselves. You didn't sabotage them. They sabotaged their own chances. You didn't push them away. They pushed themselves out of your life with every childish game they played. You didn't destroy them. They destroyed the last good thing they had access to. That's the tragedy. That's the beauty. That's the irony. They thought they were punishing you by leaving, but you had checked out long before they did. They exited a game you finished months ago. The masculine truth they never understood. A man becomes powerful the day he learns this truth. Not every battle needs your sword. Some battles are won simply by refusing to fight. Your calmness was the real weapon. Your discipline was the real armor. Your emotional control was the real victory. You didn't win because you were louder. You won because you were wiser. You didn't win because you were ruthless. You won because you were done. Some losses are just freedom wearing a disguise. And some goodbyes are actually graduations. The part they will never forget. Sooner or later, they will remember you. Not the old you, not the soft version they tried to manipulate, but the version you became because of their betrayal. Colder, smarter, sharper, more disciplined, more self-controlled, more dangerous in your silence. They will remember the man who didn't break, the man who didn't chase, the man who didn't bow to their games. They will replay every moment they thought they were winning, only to realize every victory was a trap you let them walk into. You didn't destroy them, you elevated past them. That's the kind of revenge a masculine, healed, stoic man carries. You don't burn them, you outgrow them, and your absence becomes the fire.